Hey there, 90 of 90, that's it. Boom, done for this time round anyway. And what a journey it's been this time round. Interestingly, lots of different things coming up and leaving the body. And there were so many things I was like, shall I do this? Shall I do that? How will I do it? And I've been putting it off, putting it off and putting it off. And in the end, I just thought, stuff it. It's a beautiful day. I've got my boys with me. I'm under a beautiful oak tree and I have this fantastic peacock feather. Look at that. How lovely is that? And there's a couple of things. I want to tell you about a dream I had about 20 years ago. But I also want to show you this peacock feather. Because when I look at this feather, and I see all the colours and how, look at that, how that's all symmetry, joining in the middle, and how that goes. That's nature that's done that. Isn't it amazing? We are nature. We are amazing. And we forget how amazing we are for everything. For all the experiences that we can share with each other, the sensations that we get, everything that's happened to us and everything that we share. Yes, I know. I just love these boys. And so I was going to talk about initially love and what that means to me. But then I thought to myself, do you know what? I'm going to share this dream I had 20 years ago. Because to me, that is about I love me. And when you can actually, and people talk about mirror work, and when you can actually look in the mirror and say, I love me, I love you, we become alive. Our cells vibrate more. And the words joy, love and inspiration can come through into our body. He's going to knock my camera over. He just wants to get close to me. And I love you. So let me, yes, I know, yes. This video, I'm going to send the other ones over there eating poo. Yeah, look at that. My guardian. Beautiful. No, before I talk to you about this dream, I want to say thank you to everybody that has watched, commented on my video, took the time and effort. And I want to thank everybody whose videos I have watched, because in watching your videos and sharing the journey with you, I have learned so much as well. And we're all experiencing life at different parts, aspects of it, and we all come together as one in our lives at certain points, sharing, experiencing what we call life and our experiences. What are you doing? So I'm going to tell you about this dream. And basically it was 20 or so years ago. So you have your own interpretation of it. But after I told this clairvoyant about a week ago, she gave me her interpretation. And after that, I thought to myself, yeah, okay, I'll accept that. And basically what it was, in your dreams where you're trying to run away from somebody and you can't get away, it was like that. And I had to work out a way of not having to run, but getting away. And the only other alternative, if I wasn't using my legs, was to use my arms. So I devised a way to fly like this. And I pushed my arms down, and as I pushed my arms down, the faster I did it, the more air would go underneath and I could fly. And after I figured that out, I was flying here, there and everywhere, and it was great. The adventures I had in my dreams were fantastic. I could go anywhere I liked, whenever I liked, and even if my dream stopped, I could restart it and start off somewhere new, or restart it where I left off. And it was in colour, and I felt the heat and the emotions, and I could smell stuff, and it was crazy. and I loved it. So this particular day, I knew that there was something after me. I'd had a couple of dreams before about dark energy and things like that, and I thought to myself, So I was a bit suspicious when this dream came to me. And I had this in my dream, this egg, which was like an egg of life, not like a hard-boiled egg, but an egg of life. So I was carrying this egg around with me to protect it from this dark force, who I didn't realise also had an egg that they were carrying, and they wanted us to form their egg and my egg together to be more powerful. So I knew I had to get away. And so there I was, flying above this city and going out towards the beach and onto the sea. That's my dog eating acorns. And so what happened is as I was flying, I went through these set of trees, and you could hear the rustle as I went through. And I knew it wasn't far behind me because I heard its rustle as it went through the trees. So as I'm going through, I can feel the heat coming from underneath me, the city lamps. And I can see the houses and the tree tops and the rooftops, and I can see everything and feel everything. And so as I'm coming away from the edges of the city onto where the beach was, I could feel the difference in temperature, and I could see this lady with a little girl, but I had this feeling and this sense that I knew her from somewhere, but I didn't see her face. But she was looking up at me, but I just couldn't see her face unusually, as I was seeing all this other detail. And I was making my way to this full moon lit sky that was shining its light on the ocean. And I'm heading towards the ocean, and as I'm going over the ocean, I can feel the coldness getting more and more, Tishri, more and more cold as I'm going along. And I knew that if I continued to go in that direction, I was going to die, because I would have fallen, lost my energy, and gone into the ocean and sunk and drowned. So I came round, and as I came round, I slowly descended onto the beach, where my feet touched the sand, and the sand went in between my toes. She said, "I knew you would come." So with that, she took me to her house, and we hadn't any conversation between us, but the house was familiar, and it was kind of like up this street and to the left, and there was the front door. And she said, "I've been cooking for you." And as she opened the door, I could smell this. It was like a cake, a fruit cake she'd been cooking, and I could smell it. And to the left, you could see down the corridor, there was the oven, you could smell it. And then on the right, you could see a little girl playing in front of the fireplace. So when you try and explain a dream, it doesn't really have too much logic, but it's kind of there. Anyway, so as I progressed towards that little girl, then all of a sudden, bang, 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 the door goes. And I said, "I've endangered you." And she said, "No, you haven't." So I knew that it was a bit bizarre with that door going, because this energy could burst that door. It didn't need walls or anything like that. But needless to say, I went over to the door and I opened the door. And as I opened the door, there was this huge amount of love that I had when I looked towards this dark shadow. Same size as me, same shape as me, but I didn't acknowledge it was me. So this shape had this egg in its hand, and we came together like this and twined ourselves all the way up towards the sky where the stars were shining. And he wanted me to, and I felt it was a he, wanted me to put my egg with his so that we could be more powerful. And if only you would put your egg with mine, he said, as we moved our way upwards and upwards towards the sky. And I said, "You will never have my energy." No, because I thought and felt at the time it was dark energy and dangerous. And I didn't want my light energy being used for dark. So I drew my egg down on the floor towards the floor, and it exploded. And as it exploded, we shot up towards the sky into nothingness and everythingness. And then I woke up. And I could say to that dream and explain that dream to this day, even 20 or so years after, as if it was a dream I had yesterday. And I know I've gone on a bit, so I apologise for that, but I really wanted to share that dream with you, because what she said to me, the clairvoyant, and she gave me her interpretation that that was my yin and my yang coming together. It was my ability to be able to love myself, accept myself, which at that time I wasn't really having that a good a time, or in accepting love for myself. So it's quite interesting, really. So when she said that, it kind of fit. You know, when people actually tell you something and they've been telling you something for ages, and then all of a sudden somebody else says something similar, and then all of a sudden you go, oh yeah. And it's like, my mum does that. She says, yeah, I've been telling you that for years. And I go, oh, and the penny drops. And so I wanted to share that, because I did say that part of us being amazing is also being able to love ourselves and look in the mirror and accept ourselves, our reflection of what's looking back at us, and say, I love you. And I'm still looking in the wrong place. I'm looking at the light and not the camera. And I've done 180 videos plus, and I still can't look in the right place. That's my 90-day video journey, over and out. I thank you very much. Please excuse me for the time. I'm going to cut this up a little bit so that it is not as long. Have a lovely journey, those of you that are still on your journey, and for those of you that are nearly finishing, congratulations, and thank you for this opportunity. Over and out. It's not the end, it's just the beginning. Bye.